So we definitely just like need somebody there to start at the floor that's like younger, more athletic. Maybe it's like KJ Martin. Do you think he can be a starter like for this team? Like we just
He
traded for him.
can.
Like we had that we have this on our show notes. Like why don't we just talk about it now?
We could. I also will throw another idea out there, but yeah, we'll start with KJ Martin. I mean, first off, I feel like 2 second rounders for a flyer on him is absolutely up our alley. And I mean, I felt like all the games we played against Houston last year, I feel like he killed us in them. You know, like I became a fan of KJ Martin just from being a Clippers fan and watching us play Houston because this
Yeah.
guy was like killed us. He was like high
He had like
flyer.
4 dunks on us each game. Like every game like he would
Yeah,
play. He has like at least like 3 or 4 dunks on us.
yeah. I mean, he averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, 57% shooting last season. So, and then interesting stat is 80% within 3 feet of the rim. Obviously, those are a lot of dunks, but you want someone that can finish there. So
Yeah, yeah. I saw that too. I was looking at his shooting stats and it's like he's progressed throughout the years as well. Like if you look at his jump from his second to third season, he got some more minutes, but then he was averaging more points. He shoots amazing from within 3 feet, right? It's because he's dunking
yeah,
everything. But not only that, but if you look at his shooting from 3 feet to 10 feet, which is like it means that from his second to third season, he realized, hey, I can't just dunk every single thing. Like there needs to be something like a floater here or something there, like in that in between range from mid range to like getting all the way to the basket, where he's able to finish. Like his shot attempts there went up, and his field goal percentage from that range also went up from his second to third season. So just the jump in volume plus more efficiency from that range just kind of shows me he's added something to his game from year 2 to year 3, where it's just not all dunks. And then his 3 point shooting, his I don't know, it's stayed pretty stagnant throughout his career so far. Like I think his rookie season was his best in terms of field goal percentage from three. Uh, I might be wrong, but I think actually his last season, this past season, was the worst. It was like 31%, right?
I think it was 34 actually.
This past
Uh,
season,
yeah,
34. Okay, so then his second season was his worst, and then he came back a little bit with 34% this past season. So not
and
bad,
thir-
not bad.
34. Yeah, 34% and shooting 57. From the field. You that all day long for someone of his age in that caliber. So. I
Yeah,
mean, we're not hoping he's going to be a sharpshooter or anything like that. So 34% is decent for all the other stuff he brings to the table.
yeah, and I'm not sure. Like, I like KJ Martin. I don't think he can actually start on this team. Like, the better option, obviously, is Terrence Mann, right? Like, they do similar things. KJ Martin is just way more athletic, so then he can be an actual roller where he can finish on guys. T Man, we've seen him in that pick and roll where he rolls, but then he's more of that kind of facilitator. Um, where he can pass out of that short roll, right? And he can obviously finish as well, but just not as athletically as KJ Martin can. So I'd rather have
Yeah.
Terrence Mann start over KJ Martin, but like it just gives us another dynamic. Instead of like having Nicholas Batum as our only four off the bench, like him or Rocco, which both aren't like have zero rim pressure, right? They're just straight like they're setting picks and popping and they're shooting threes. They're standing in the corner shooting threes. KJ Martin as that dynamic where like he can even play alongside a Nico Batum. Nico Batum can do the whole pick and pop thing. He can stand in the corner and shoot threes. But then KJ Martin can play, whatever forward position you want to call him, but he can set the screen and actually roll and provide that rim pressure, right? Both him and Plumlee can do the same thing there. So it's like it just adds another element. Like if we want to go small, and like let's say we have Russell Westbrook, Terrence Mann, KJ Martin, Paul George, Kawhi, right? Like if we go really small, right? We actually still have some rim pressure in that situation, but yet we're small enough, we're athletic enough where we can just fly around and still have kind of enough size out there with Paul George and Kawhi. And just because like also Russell Westbrook is big for his size as well. So it's just kind of like everyone's 6'4" and above, 6'4" to 6'8", you know, and we have a lot of shooting, we have the rolling, we have rim pressure, you know, we have defense. So I can see it in that situation where KJ Martin might get some run where he's like a really small, he plays in small lineups. And then also like off the bench, he just adds that like rolling pressure.
Yeah, and also the fit to like our young core that we spoke about earlier. He just, if we want to like look into maintaining him, you know, for another contract or so, I mean, his age and just kind of fits right along with, you know, Bones and Brandon Boston, Terrence Mann still young, so
Yo, is Brandon Boston gonna get any run?
no. No,
Not at all,
immediately
right?
no.
Like there's no way. It's because, and I think he actually deserves a shot, don't you? Like I think he actually deserves a shot at like a consistent like 14 minutes a game for like a 20 to 30 game stretch. You know what I mean? Just to
Yeah.
see what he could do, right? Like let's just
I
say like just to see like if he can be our 11th man, and in the case where somebody goes down, he's able to come in and like, you know, contribute. Like we just know what he can bring, right? Like just so we can find out what he can actually bring, right? I think like with what's his name, Amir Coffey, he had like 2 seasons of that where he actually got opportunities to show what he could do with time out there, and now we know what he is. And honestly, he shouldn't play at all.
Yeah.
So instead of him being like the 11th or 12th man, I'd rather have Brandon Boston be that 11th or 12th man, where like if Kawhi or PG misses a game, like he actually gets like 14 minutes in that game. You know what I mean? And then we can just
Yeah.
see like, oh, how has he progressed from his rookie season until now? Because last season he barely got a chance, you know?
I agree. I mean, he's a hooper too. Like he needs he needs consecutive minutes. He can't just come out and just play 2 spot minutes here. He really needs to get in the flow of the game. And once he's feeling himself, like you saw, like his rookie season, when you have 28 against the Celtics one time, just utmost confidence and just he's a hooper. You know, you need extended minutes for those guys to really, you know, get into their rhythm and, you know, show who they are. So.
Yeah, and
But
I think Bones is the same way, where like he needs those consistent minutes to kind of like get himself going and like get in the rhythm and really be able to heat up, because like those type of guys, I mean, I'm not sure about Brandon yet because we just haven't seen enough from him yet. But Bones, like I've seen enough throughout his 2-year career so far, because he actually got an opportunity in Denver, is like when he heats up, he can get real hot. You know, he can change the dynamic of a game just with his like scoring, because he can in a quarter hit like 4 threes, you know.